Hello, everyone, and welcome to Your Mark on the World show. Today, we're producing the show for Forbes, where I'm a contributor covering social entrepreneurship and impact investing. And we have a remarkable and disparate team from around the world gathered today for you. This is really going to be fun. We have Dr. Carol Pandak from Rotary International's Polio Plus program. She drives that program, and she's with us from Evanston, Illinois. We have Alex Main, who is a Paralympic athlete coach for Alem Mumuni, who is also with us from Ghana. He is a world-class athlete who's training for Rio, for the Paralympic Games. And we're so excited to have all of you with us. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thank you so much for giving me this great opportunity to be part of.
Let's start with you, if we could. I'd like to ask you to tell us a little bit about your experience. You contracted polio there in Ghana, where you live, when you were just 2. I'd like you to share with us, if you could, some of your life experience and the challenges you faced and how you've overcome those.
Yeah, being a physically challenged person, and for that matter, polio victim, is not an easy thing to live with in the society where persons with disabilities are looked down upon. And a child from one of the most remote areas in Ghana, I had to struggle to overcome all obstacles, and by crawling to 8 years before started using one wooden stick, and afterwards being given education that I had to my mother and my cousin had to convince my father to be able to put me in school. And today education has really brought me to the limelight, and I am representing persons with disabilities, and for that matter, polio victims and children with polio contraction, to erase their wrong perceptions that we are social parasites in society, being perceived by our ill-minded in society. I had to go through hell, but as the saying goes, the proud heart is able to survive a general failure because that failure does not break its pride. And today, I am very proud and happy that my story and what I've gone through is an inspiration and then encouragement to people around the globe.
Well, it is wonderful, Carol, as I think about Alem's story, to think about how close we are now, thanks in part to the leadership, your personal leadership, and the leadership of Rotary over the last several decades, and their partners, the World Health Organization, the CDC, UNICEF, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, to end polio in Africa. We're so close. Tell us a little bit about how close we are to eradicating polio in Africa now.
Thanks, Devin, and it's great to hear Alem's story. You know, we are very close to eradicating polio in Africa. Only one country on the continent, and that's Nigeria, is endemic for the virus. They've never stopped the virus, and to date, only 5 cases have been reported in Nigeria. And so, really, Nigeria is the key to the entire region of Africa being certified polio-free. And so with only 5 cases reported so far this year, which is a 90% reduction from last year, I mean, progress is extraordinary.
And it's so exciting to think about all of the lives that are being altered, changed, protected because of your work. You look at Alem, and what a remarkable, remarkable man he is, to think about what he's overcome. But in fact, many of the people who have become victims of polio in Africa have not had the success that Alem has had. He's a remarkable case because he's such a remarkable person. He's been tremendously successful in many ways, but many are not. And so your work is just incredibly, incredibly valuable. Alex, maybe you could tell us a little bit about the Alem Foundation and what you're doing there.
Hi, and thank you so much for having us online. So Alem and I started the foundation when we were training for the London Paralympics in 2011. And we basically started a very small school for the children who didn't have opportunities for any education. So Alem started teaching them maths and English and just the basic skills that they needed to be, successful in Ghana and to have, a future. And that was the root of it. But what we'd like to do from the Alem Foundation is we provide scholarships for children to go to school. We work with disabled children as well. So we've recently helped a child who's had osteomyelitis and saved her leg, which was very close to Alem's heart. But we are working to create this education from a pre-primary development just before they go to school, so we can help with the vaccinations, healthcare. We're going to help with the very grassroots program. But we believe that education is key to changing these perceptions, these misconceptions towards disability, so that these children, when they actually go into society, that they will know the difference between disability and that every individual has a place and has opportunity within Ghana.
The foundation is also working to raise money to help pay for Alem's competition, training, and travel, right? Yes.
So as part of this, we're in phase 2 now of the project. The first phase was creating the scholarships for these children in Akosombo. And the second phase is to raise the awareness and build Alem's profile as a polio sufferer and someone with a disability. So excitingly, we're working towards Rio. Prior to this, for those viewers that don't know, Alem qualified as the first ever Ghanaian paracyclist to qualify for the London Games. However, really unfortunately, he contracted chickenpox a week before his event, so he wasn't able to compete. After the Games, he carried on, and in 2013, he had a 2nd world ranking in the world, so he's really talented. However, he really struggles with the funding in order to get to these competitions. So the Alem Foundation's mission is to get behind Alem and raise the money to get into these necessary competitions to get to Rio.
So right now, raising money for the competition in Greenville, South Carolina at the end of August, right? That's coming up just next week, right?
Yes, we're really excited. Alem's currently in the US, so he's getting ready, doing his training, and then he'll be off to Greenville for his competition.
And we're hoping that Alem will come. The Salt Lake Rotary Club has invited Alem to come visit Salt Lake while he's here in the United States, to come at the club's expense to visit, to speak to the club, and to see a little bit more of the country. So I'm hoping that will work out. Carol, I wonder, Carol, if you would take just a minute and tell us a little bit more about the fight against polio on a global scale. We're nearly done in Africa, but even once the virus is eradicated in Africa, that really isn't the end. In fact, children in America, children in England, children all around the world are being vaccinated against polio every day. And that will continue until what happens, Carol?
Well, just a quick bit of history. So when Rotary started its Polio Plus program, there were some 350,000 cases of polio globally every year. And to date, we've reduced that number by 99%, such that this year there have been about 139 cases of polio globally. A majority of those cases are in Pakistan. So there are 3 countries that have never stopped the transmission of the wild polio virus. One we talked about, Nigeria, and then Pakistan and Afghanistan. So that's really where the focus is, because all the polio in the world originates from either Pakistan or Nigeria. So a focus on endemic countries is important. And so you need 3 years of no polio cases before the world can be certified polio-free. So even if you stop the transmission of the virus in Nigeria, you will continue to immunize children against polio. And until polio is gone in the entire world, all children need to continue to be immunized against polio, because in our ever-shrinking world where people are traveling all over, polio is really a plane ride away. We still need to protect all the children of the world as long as there is polio anywhere. Rotary to date has invested over $1.3 billion in this effort to make good on its promise that no child ever again would be paralyzed by polio.
It's a remarkable goal and a remarkable achievement when you consider the progress that has been made so far. And certainly I commend you for the great work that you're doing. As you think about the cost of immunizing children around the world and you compare that to the tremendous cost of trying to eradicate, it seems to me that the math really does justify this Herculean effort to eradicate the disease, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and that's a really great point. There's been some analysis done that when polio is eradicated, there will be some $40 to $50 billion in savings over the next 20 years, mostly in developing countries, from not having to immunize children and also from the care that goes into for children that do contract polio. So the overall savings far outweighs the immediate investment that's needed to finally rid the world of polio. And it will be only the second disease ever to be eradicated after smallpox. So an historic achievement.
Well, Carol, before we go, can you tell people what are the things you would like listeners to do right now in order to help end polio?
That's a great question. I think one, I would encourage people to contribute to ending polio. You can go to the endpolionow.org website of Rotary, and we're in a relationship with the Gates Foundation, by which every contribution to Rotary's Polio Plus program can be matched 2 to 1. So that's a great return on your investment. I encourage everyone who's listening to join Rotary's live stream event on World Polio Day on the 24th of October. Either watch it live stream or watch the archive. And again, that can be accessed on Rotary's endpolio.org website. I guess the other thing is to raise awareness that polio is not gone. It may be gone in the United States, it may be gone in some countries, but in Africa, in Pakistan, Afghanistan, and a handful of other countries, children continue to be paralyzed by polio, and there's a vaccine available that can prevent that. So it's an awareness campaign as well. So I'd say donate, participate in our End Polio Now World Polio Day event, and raise awareness that it's not over.
Great. Now, Alex, tell us a little bit about how people can support Alem in his efforts to compete around the world and qualify for Rio.
Thank you. So if you want to get behind Alem and help him on his journey, he's still got another 5 competitions to get to in order to qualify for Rio. So they're essential. So it's not just one competition. It's up to 5. You can follow us on Kriticalmass, which is www.criticalmass.com, and you'll find Alem's project. And also, if you go onto our website, which is www.alemfoundation.com, and you also, if you want to find out what's going on, how Alem's getting on with his training, you want to challenge him with some of his rides, you can do what he's doing, and you can follow us on our Facebook page too. So it's really important that we get behind Alem and get into Rio, because without your support, he won't get there. So we really, really need your help. And he's a great ambassador for the End Polio campaign, and we're really excited to work with you, Rotary International, because your work is fantastic, and together we can end polio.
Oh, thank you very much, Alex. Alem, I wonder if you would tell us just a little bit about your your first reactions to visiting the United States and how you're enjoying your stay and how your training is going.
People of the USA, they are so amazing. They are accommodating me so lovely, and my journey or tour will not be complete if I'm not able to visit Salt Lake. Be able to hear my story fully. And Madam did mention about the campaign. Actually, so much advocacy have been done and lobbying. Yet there's also economic, political, and social situations concerning persons with disabilities have not been improved in any significant way. And the best way for us to be able to improve the equality among polio victims, and for that matter, persons with disabilities or children with disabilities, is to, I believe that education is the best way to eradicate poverty, improve disability equality, and beat diseases like polio. And this positive effect of education has consistently correlated to better quality of life. In Ghana, access to better education and health services has contributed to increased literacy rates, high capital income per capita, and a higher life expectancy. But most importantly, eradication of diseases like polio. Deaths from polio are now near 0% total today compared to the 1980s, where I am among them. And as a polio survivor, as Alem Mumuni, I believe God has empowered me to be an ambassador for the next generation. And I am currently training hard to qualify for the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games to fulfill my lifelong dream of winning Ghana's first Paralympic medal. I continue to advocate for social equality for disabled people, and I'm proud to be ambassador for End Polio now, to help end the paralyzing effect of polio on children around the world. And I'm so glad that today, 2 years after my contracting, or the same year that I contracted poliomyelitis, Rotary International also established the eradication that year. And I'm proud to be ambassador today. And I will continue to erase that wrong perception, and then to advocate for equality among children with a disability, and for that matter, children with polio contraction. Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Alem. I thank all of you for taking the time to be with us today, and certainly hope that you'll be successful, Alem, in reaching your Olympic dreams and also in reaching your financial goals. And certainly, Carol, I congratulate you for the great progress that Rotary and the Global Polio Eradication Initiative have made over the last 30 years. And Alex, congratulate you for your success in working with Alem. So thank you all for being with me today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Alem.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Let's do some good.